So there we go. Yeah, I don't have a lot of small glasses. That'll work fine. I got ice in the freezer. All right, Marvin's room, baby. What's happening, kids? I got Dustin Hull here. We're getting a little couple of bevy boos. We're gonna do a quick little, we'll call it a half hour. These don't need to be too super long. We'll see what happens. Most of the time, James and I try to have a set time, and we end up just rambling anyway. So we'll see. We'll give it at least a half hour, and if we have to do a part 2, we can always schedule a part 2. I think that sounds pretty good, right?
Hi, everybody. Dustin here.
Yeah. So, Dustin and I have been friends for a good couple years now, I'd say, from around, and we've always been talking about doing a little Podly type cast, and I just keep forgetting to text him to schedule it. So we finally did it, and yeah, so we're gonna talk about DC Comics, maybe a little bit of Marvel stuff, but DC Fandom recently happened. We had the Batman trailer, we had a new Aquaman trailer, there's a Catwoman anime movie that's coming out, the video games as well. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League and Gotham Knights. There's just all kinds of... It's a good time to be a DC Comics fan, mostly because none of what we're getting is directed by Zack Snyder.
no Snyderverse for a little while. Not that I hate it, but...
So, Dustin, what are your thoughts? Did you watch the DC Fandom? Did you watch any of that? Or at least the trailers and stuff?
I've seen a couple of the trailers.
Okay.
Most excited about this new Batman.
Yes, dude.
It's just going to be something completely different
from
what we've seen out of Batman.
Oh, yeah.
And going back to the actual detective side of Batman.
Yes, I'm really happy with that. The fact that they're basically making 7 but a Batman movie, I'm really a fan of. I'm a huge, that's what I've wanted for so long. Like, we've gotten, you know, what everybody thinks Batman should be. We've gotten the swashbuckling adventure with Michael Keaton, and to a lesser extent the Schumacher movies, and we've gotten the dark and gritty with the Nolanverse, and somewhat of like the physical challenge with Bane, and we had a little bit of detective stuff with The Dark Knight, but not a lot. It was mostly, it's a 2.5 hour long allegory for the Patriot Act.
Yes.
With the
Still amazing movie though.
Love it. I rewatched it. I gotta admit, it falls apart after the Joker stuff's done. Like, there's a half hour of just Two-Face. Really falls apart for me personally, but yeah, man, I'm really excited. The only other thing they can do after this is actually have a good Bat family movie. Everybody always shies away from anything involving Robin when it comes to like the big screen, and it's like Robin and just like everything leading into like Nightwing, Red Hood, and like Tim Drake and Damian and Batgirl, and Spoiler, and all the other sidekicks. Like, that stuff's as much as important to the Batman mythos, which is why I'm glad we're getting Gotham Knights, because you know, it's a whole video game where you literally just play as Nightwing, Red Hood, Robin, and Batgirl. So I'm really happy that at least the video games are giving that a little more representation. Yeah. Go ahead and play this here real quick. We might keep the sound down just so it doesn't come too much onto the recording, but of course has to start with an ad because I refuse to pay for YouTube Premium. But yeah, man, a lot of the naysayers, people, oh, Robert Pattinson can't be Batman, we can't have Edward Cullen as Batman, I'm telling you, they're eating crow. They gotta be eating crow at this point. Like,
I think he's gonna do such a great job in this.
Paul Dano as the Riddler.
Incredibly talented actor.
Oh, so good. For those watching at home, we're watching the second Batman trailer that debuted this past, let's see, I think that was Saturday the 16th at DC Fandom. So we're watching along. We got the bat signal. And they said this takes place in his second year being Batman. Yeah, so it's not going to be like a Batman Begins. It's year 2. So also fun cameo. One of the they didn't show him a lot in this trailer, but in the first trailer, one of the younger thugs in this group, the actor plays Tim Drake in Titans.
Oh, okay.
Which is currently destroying the Batman mythos right now in its 3rd season. It's just completely ruining everything. So I'm glad we're getting something good with the Batman. We got a lot of Zoe Kravitz as well coming in as Selena Kyle.
A lot more of her in this trailer.
A
lot more of Colin Farrell as he's
Penguin.
becoming the Penguin.
Yeah. And I love how they give him makeup and have him do a voice that makes him sound like Richard Kind, and it's like they could have just cast Richard Kind, because I'm pretty sure he's still acting. If you didn't tell me that was Colin Farrell, I would not have known that was Colin Farrell.
Huge transformation. And the prosthetics were amazing.
I'm honestly surprised they still had him do like an American accent instead of doing like a Cockney British, like that kind of level of the Penguin. But I guess that's minor at most.
I love that I'm vengeance line.
Yes. And that like
the Batmobile.
The Batmobile looks so good. Cause like I get what like Christopher Nolan was going for, where it's like, oh, it's a tank, but like I feel like if you're going for a practical Batmobile, you want it to just be a car. So like I really enjoy the way that they did that. And then Andy Serkis is Alfred Pennyworth. I'm still very rarely used to seeing Andy Serkis not
as a CG
not
character.
as a CG character, yeah. I forget the movie.
Thaddeus Claw.
When he was Claw, Ulysses Claw.
Yeah, Ulysses Claw.
There was another one he was in. I forget the movie, but he was in it with Simon Pegg, and they played like hangmen in like Victorian England. It's like a dark comedy, but it's really good. I forget. I watched it on Netflix like 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. Let's see. So yeah, Batman. What are you thinking? I'm into it.
I love how everything looks a little cobbled together.
It does.
Where he's still trying to figure out everything. The bat signal looks like it's kind of just welded together.
And he's all like emo Bruce Wayne. He hasn't figured out how to be like billionaire playboy persona yet. Like he's still just like, I got to solve all these crimes. Like he hasn't, because that's what I saw somebody else. If anybody's on TikTok, Strawhead Goofy, really good TikTok account. Dude talks about movies, not just Marvel and DC, but movies in general. And he's got a lot of good takes on movies. I really like what he does. And I think I shouted him out too in a couple episodes. But he pointed out too. He was like, "Yeah, this is very early Bruce Wayne. Like, it's always that dichotomy of like, Batman's not the mask, Bruce Wayne's the mask, and Batman's the guy." So I was really happy with that one. Let's check out. Did you see the Flash trailer?
I did watch the Flash trailer. Okay. That has. I have no idea what's going to happen in that movie. It's one of those things where it's exciting, but at the same time, it's still somewhat Snyderverse, even though it kind of has its own tone.
I watched that with some friends on Saturday, and we all unfortunately came to the like consensus that the most exciting thing about the Flash trailer was Michael Keaton as Batman.
Oh yeah.
Like even in a Flash movie, Batman is still like the most like hyped up thing.
I mean that's arguably
but
the most
also
iconic portrayal of Batman is Michael Keaton.
And we're getting both Michael Keaton and Affleck in this too, which is nice. I gotta admit, I still am not a huge fan of Ezra Miller as the Flash. Like I don't know what it is about it, like his mannerisms. I think a lot of it was Justice League, where it's like with that scene where he saves Iris West in the car wreck, and it's like playing the dramatic music, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna brush your hair aside and grab a hot dog." Like it's just like, okay, we get it.
See, he doesn't have the mouth that the Flash should have. This Flash was always always talking.
That's what I'm hoping they do well in this movie. I think the fact that Zack Snyder himself's not directing it, because in the Snyder cut of Justice League, every hero's introduction basically was like slow-mo with sad dramatic music montage, and like the Flash is not sad dramatic music montage. Like if you're gonna introduce Flash, still do it like the slow-mo the way he did it, but put something a little bit heavier,
a little bit more lighthearted,
something for the Flash. Give a little bit of audio,
his personality.
Yeah, exactly.
Personality, and not just yours as a filmmaker.
And so we have two Flashes and Supergirl. That's our take on Supergirl, which until we see the movie, I don't. Some people have said she's going to be like regular Kara Zor-El
in the '89 Batmobile.
Yes. I've been replaying Arkham Knight, and I just like use that Batmobile whenever I'm like just doing like the free roam at the end of the game. But yeah, I mean. Look, I'm going to watch it no matter what. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to watch it, boo. I'm going to watch literally all of these movies except for Aquaman.
Yeah, I still have not watched the first Aquaman. Arguably, I'm a much bigger Marvel fan than I am a DC fan. I love Batman.
Me too, flat out. I would say let's watch the Black Adam trailer, but it's literally 3 minutes and you don't even see the Rock's face. It's just a very, like, But yeah, I mean, I love Batman. Obviously, I love Superman. Like, anybody that knows me knows I love Superman. Like, literally, my parents have, like, my dad went into the hospital room with a camcorder. I was, like, 2 days old. And I'm in the little bassinet crib next to my mom, and on the TV above me is playing Superman 2. Like, that's Christopher awesome. Reeve's Superman 2. So, like, it was just, my destiny was, like, solidified as Superman, Spider-Man. That's just what it was going to be.
Growing up with the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon and the X-Men, of course. And then you've got...
Then we got a little bit later, and then we got Justice League as well, Batman the Animated Series, and yeah, man. Let's see, what else? Oh, so you said you didn't see the Catwoman anime?
I have not.
Okay. So it stars, I forget her name, she was in the Nickelodeon show Victorious. Her name's like Lizzie something, I'll have to look it up later. She plays Batgirl. Stephanie Beatrice, I think. I have a computer right here. She plays Rosa Diaz in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh yes,
is Kate Kane Batwoman?
Okay.
And after that, I was immediately sold.
Multiple countries have warrants out for your arrest.
Let's see, Catwoman anime trailer. And again, you might be able to hear a little bit of this in the background, but hopefully, you know, we don't get TMCA boys.
I love the animation style in this.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I mean, anything anime I'm going to absolutely love, but it looks like, at least for one kind of wide scene that they just did, it looked like a slightly different style.
And I know, like, they're done with, like, the DC animated, like, universe after they did Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, which I hated. A lot of people loved it. I must just be, like, on the outside of that. But I'm glad they're still doing animated movies, just not in that, they don't all have to be in that style in that, like, universe, because it's basically a series of animated movies that were, like, New 52.
Yeah, and stories. All essentially, well, in the same universe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Elizabeth Gillies. Elizabeth Gillies is Catwoman, and yeah, she was in Dynasty, I guess the remake of Dynasty, since how the first one was in, like, the 1970s. Yeah, Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. As Batwoman, Zara Fazal, as Talia al Ghul, Lauren Cohan from The Walking Dead as Julia Pennyworth, the daughter of Alfred. So yeah, I'm into it. I'm ready to go. Keith David as Tobias Whale, Steve Blum as Solomon Grundy.
Ooh, I haven't seen Solomon Grundy in anything for a little while.
Yeah, they showed him in, like, they did a thing with him in Gotham, I remember, and yeah, he hasn't been in much. So it's gonna be cool, like a great voice cast. So that's gonna be sick.
I am loving that they're making more and more things in anime style.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Star Wars sweatshirt, so of course I have to bring up Star Wars.
Oh my god, Star Wars
Visions.
Oh my
incredible.
gosh, dude, that was amazing.
Absolutely incredible. I still can't get it. If they would have made... I could watch, you know, an entire 25 episodes of The Ronin. Just in
oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's that entire
basically
concept.
Afro Samurai. Like,
yeah, having a Sith... Because you always see and hear about the Jedi that leave to go to the Sith. You never hear about or see anything from the Sith that leave the Sith. I mean, he's not joining the Jedi Order for sure, but as a gray Jedi.
And I have to admit, I really have to admit, the only... I wouldn't even call it a criticism, really, but I was kind of hoping not every single episode would be Jedi and Sith-based. Like, there's so much more to Star Wars than just that.
Hopefully they explore more in Season 2.
Yeah, like, I get that's the most popular part, obviously, because that's, I mean, you know, Skywalker, Vader, and the whole 9 yards, Palpatine and Rey.
I mean, it's an anime style, so...
But, like, you know, I wouldn't have minded a little bit of anime, like, you know, smugglers or bounty hunters, like, more...
Some bounty hunter stuff would be great. Because that's a whole... I mean, you see in The Mandalorian a little bit more exploration of that world, but they've never really expanded upon the bounty hunters. Cad Bane and Boba Fett and those.
And then we're going to get the Book of Boba Fett coming up soon, so we will get some more of that side, along with the own Mandalorian. Now we're moving on to Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, a game that I have been in a lot of anticipation for. For those who don't know, this one takes place in universe with the Arkham series.
Okay.
So this takes place shortly after Arkham Knight.
Let me take a look at you. Musclehead. My nut job. Something that offends my eyes. And a homeless person. You're perfect.
Just checking. We're all seeing that thing, right?
This has one-way ticket written all over it.
So we've got some generic aliens to kill.
Yeah. The only thing is they haven't done any gameplay footage yet. It's all been like cinematics. I've heard from a few people it's going to play like a multiplayer, like Overwatch style. And I'm really hoping that still means it has a single player campaign. Because if it's going to be multiplayer only, I don't know if I want to play it. I don't want to play something that's only multiplayer. Like, or at the very least has that like games as a service thing. I was really disappointed with that with the Avengers game on Marvel's and Square's side of the equation. So I'm really hoping that like it at least has a good like single player mode where you can just choose like which member of the team you want to play as.
From just the story elements that it's showing, looks like there should be an actual campaign.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Looks like the members of the Justice League have been infected with something that's making them go crazy, I would guess.
Yeah, in the first trailer they showed a little bit more. They're Brainiac. Yeah, it's Brainiac. Okay. Yeah, they showed it in the first trailer. They showed the big like Brainiac skull ship. I don't think they show it in this one. My guess is going to be kind of like what Marvel's doing with the Guardians of the Galaxy series, where like maybe plays like one or two characters and the rest of them are like party members.
Yeah.
I would really hope for something like that.
Repeat. The Penguin is in flight.
Then let's clip his wings.
Oh my God! He's getting up.
Hitting him again. He's right out the door. Somebody stop him. Did that get him?
No, it very much did not get him. Waller, Bob, and then.
I also love how we've had so many different incarnations of King Shark in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Like we have like this one where he's like, it sounds like they even changed the voice a little bit. He's a little gruffer than in the first one. Than the first one, he's a little more like, Superman, it's the mighty Superman, come to save us. Like he's a little more like reserved. And in this one, it looks like they kind of dumbed him down a little bit. I'm guessing probably because of the Suicide Squad movie, where he's, you know, Sylvester Stallone. He's basically the Groot of that movie. And then he's played by Ron Funches in the animated Harley Quinn series, where he's just like, everything's super over the top. And if you haven't seen that yet, highly recommend it. It's really good.
I know that he's shown up in the Flash TV series.
That's right. Yeah, I never really watched the Flash TV series, but I knew of some of the things that were in there.
Caught little clips of it here and there, but it's one of those things that it never drew me in.
Yeah. See, we'll watch the Gotham Knights trailer, and I think that'll be the last trailer we watch, and we'll talk for a little bit. I think we should be good keeping this about a half hour. We don't need to, we don't need to string it out too long, but
this is the first time around. Still trying to get everything figured out a little bit.
I've been told on some of these episodes, especially the ones that I did in 2020, because that's how this originally started, was I couldn't go do stand-up, so I started a podcast. Some of the comments and critiques that I got were that it rambles a little bit and it's very long, so I'm trying to tighten up the grip and keep it a little more focused. Part of that is because most of the time it's just me and my friends getting drunk on a Zoom call and yelling at each other about Harry Potter.
There we go.
Which we do anyway, so we decided just to hit record.
Because they're always watching.
But now we're currently watching the Gotham Knights trailer. This is one I'm definitely looking forward to. It feels a little bit like, because they actually showed gameplay footage. It's a good sort of action RPG level up.
The Court of Owls is a myth.
We're getting Court of Owls in this, which is going to be good.
It seems like they're, from some of the Batman footage and breakdowns that I've seen, that it's starting to introduce the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
And when the films at least give a nod to it, maybe an Easter egg.
Yeah, I would say so.
Maybe something that they'll...
I think just because they're finally... people are just finally looking at more of the Batman mythos in the world. We've already kind of done the Joker to death, even doing a full-blown Joker movie that's just like its own story and has really little to do with Batman other than as like a tertiary character and with Thomas and Martha Wayne. So it's kind of nice to see them exploring and not everything just has to be Joker all the time, which I enjoy, because that was my one critique probably of Arkham Knight. Like, I love Mark Hamill, but at the same time it still kind of felt like it boiled down to the Joker.
Batman versus Joker every time.
So it's just like, I like me some
Bane?
Joker. I think so.
Whew. Bane with a giant mace? That would be terrifying.
In the very first gameplay trailer they showed a year ago, they showed an entire level and the boss fight was Mr. Freeze, and you go through like a frozen lake area, and it was really cool. I'm really into this because like all the characters have their own individual powers and you can change your playstyle based on who you pick. I'm obviously gonna be playing as Robin because Tim Drake's my boy. But yeah, so I think that's a lot of the bigger ones. There's also like an Aquaman animated series that kind of has like a similar, I guess, like Steven Universe kind of animation. I didn't watch that trailer, but some people said it was good. We can go and pull that up too, and then we'll kind of give our final thoughts on this in our last about 8 minutes or so.
One thing that I've been thinking, because they're basing this new Flash movie, it seems like a lot on the Flashpoint paradox. I hope I got that right.
Yes, yes.
But do you think that, I mean, of course we'll have Michael Keaton as Batman, but do you think they'll set him up as an older Bruce Wayne in that universe? Or do you think he'll be Thomas Wayne?
I've seen some people theorize Thomas Wayne. I still think he's just going to be older Bruce Wayne. I really do.
Yeah,
just because with all the nods they gave to the movies, it doesn't seem to me like he might be a little more with the Thomas Wayne style, like a little less inclined away from, like, you know, he might be okay with killing people. Granted, Ben Affleck Batman didn't seem like he really had any problems with it. But yeah, I think he's gonna be older Bruce Wayne, but with a Thomas Wayne kind of style.
He's gonna, yeah.
I think that's like how he's gonna be. Like, he's grizzled. He's probably like lost everything, because, you know, obviously if he's old, then that means like he's not gonna have Alfred. We never established that Batman is having a Robin. We established Affleck as having a Robin, but it's Dick Grayson, and he's already been murdered by the Joker because Zack Snyder has a boner for like Dark Knight Returns and All-Star Batman and Robin.
I definitely think they'll have Keaton play that part that Thomas Wayne takes in the comics, but still be Bruce. And I mean, you see everything in the Batcave is covered and
like he's retired.
Dust, like
yeah, because that's the only thing I really want to see us start getting away from is like, we get it. You like Frank Miller. Dark Knight Returns was good, but he wrote in a couple other books after that were in like a trilogy, and they were awful. They sucked really bad, but nobody talks about those because everybody loves The Dark Knight Returns.
And it is an amazing graphic novel, but there's so much more out there that they can go with.
Yeah, I just... And I know they're going like full dark and gritty with Matt Reeves, the Batman, and I just...
But at least that's going to explore... hopefully a lot more of that world's greatest detective side.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for that. I'm just hoping they don't keep that. I'm hoping they don't try to just like out edgelord themselves all the time, like, because it's the whole thing where it's like the whole thing with the Scorsese where he's like, Marvel movies aren't cinema. It's like, it's this whole, and you know, feel free to disagree with me if you want. I feel like there's too much of a focus on trying to make these movies like art films, where it's one of those where it's like, yes, you want it to be like palatable to a general audience because obviously you got to get butts and seats, you got to make your money. It's called the movie business for a reason. but like, you're making superhero movies, man. You're making comic book movies. Like you're allowed to have fun, and that's where I think Marvel has really shined. Because obviously the worst Thor movie is the one where they try to take themselves a little too seriously.
And if you look at Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, it's right now one of my top 3 Marvel movies, hands down.
I still haven't seen it yet.
Oh, see,
I want to see it. I just haven't had a chance.
Movies, and
so
watching them bring in elements of Jackie Chan films where you have the really interactive fights and some of the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style of kung fu. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful movie.
I'll probably pay for it when it comes to Disney Plus. Like even if it's on like the Premiere Access, I might do that because I really want to watch it.
I went and saw it in IMAX.
I've just been nervous about going to theaters. Like I'm fully vaxxed and everything, but like I don't know. Still, just the thought of going to a movie theater right now still kind of makes me a little bit eerie. That's why I still haven't seen Venom either, even though I know everything that happens because the internet sucks. Same thing with Squid Game. I don't know if you watched Squid Game on the Netflix
I
series.
haven't watched it. I now know everything about it, though.
Yeah, thanks, Facebook.
And I also know that I might watch it if they apparently fix the subtitles.
Yeah, well, apparently it's the dubbing that was bad. My brother watched it dubbed, and he's been rewatching it with, like, these YouTubers that he watched that do, like, react videos. And they're watching it subtitled, and he was like, yeah, I watched it subtitled. It's better. He likened it to, I don't know if you've ever seen Kung Pao Enter the Fist. It's like a comedy. For those who don't know, Kung Pao Enter the Fist is a comedy kung fu movie where it's not Bob Odenkirk. I think it's Bob Odenkirk. No, Bob Odenkirk is Better Call Saul, but this dude, Steve Odenkirk, Oede.
His fight with the if you haven't seen it, he fights a cow in this movie, and they go into bullet time.
So
the cow shoots milk at him.
It came out in 2002. It's a comedy kung fu movie, kind of like Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle, but instead of being a purely comedic kung fu movie, he takes an existing kung fu movie and like rotoscopes and green screens himself into it with like a few other actors, and then does his own dub over it in a comedic style. And it's just apparently the old man in Squid Game. I'm not going to spoil, but there is an old man in Squid Game. He sounds like the old man in Kung Pao Enter the Fist, where he's like, "Let me know if you find a Radio Shack." Like apparently, according to my brother, he sounds like that guy. Which
that might be worth watching the dub.
It just makes me want to. It just makes me want to rewatch Kung Pao Enter the Fist because like that movie's so quotable. Oh my god! And he's like, "I need 3 pounds of nuts." That's a lot of nuts. Like that. Obviously, it came out when I was 10, so like it literally came out. To put it in perspective for any Gen Zers, it came out 4 months before the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. So, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to all the DC stuff. See, this is why I'm trying to tighten it up.
Bring it back in. We can do it.
Much like Steve Rogers, I could do this all day. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to the Batman. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with the Batman, because if they do kind of lighten it up a little bit, they could look. We deserve a good Dick Grayson on the big screen, like they tried with Titans, and by God, the dude that plays him in Titans, Brendan Thwaites, who you may also have seen in the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
How many of those are they up to now?
I think like five or six, maybe.
Yeah.
But he's not bad as Dick Grayson. But man, I could do a whole episode about all the things I hate about Titans. Like they started to bring me back in season 2, and then season 3 they were like, okay, it's Titans season 3. We're bringing in Blackfire. Cool, great. Starfire's sister. Good villain. Good, okay. And the first episode... Spoilers for Titan Season 3, because I don't care about that show, by the way. Spoilers for Titan Season 3. It's the only thing I'll spoil on this podcast, because... Fuck Titan Season 3. We can curse on this. This is not for the kiddos.
Oh, shit. Okay, awesome.
You can, within reason.
Yeah, no.
But... They do
Don't
Red
have
Hood.
Tarantino style.
They do Red Hood immediately, like the first episode. Like, Jason Todd gets killed by the Joker. And then they all go to Gotham, and then it basically just becomes a Bat family show from that. Like, Barbara is the commissioner of police because apparently Jim Gordon, like, off-screen, got frozen by Mr. Freeze and had a heart attack in a block of ice, which actually sounds a little bit, like, plausible.
Yeah.
Alfred is dead at this point, even though they mention Alfred by name in season 1, and they don't say Alfred died. Literally, Dick Grayson's just like,
bring him up once, and the next time they bring him up, he's dead.
Yeah. And then, like, Bruce Wayne, who is played by fucking Jorah Mormont from Game of Thrones, who is not somebody I would ever cast as Bruce Wayne. He would make an amazing Alfred Pennyworth.
Oh, hands down.
I would never cast him as Batman. Like, he's cool as Bruce Wayne, but I could not ever in my life see Jorah Mormont in a friggin' Batman suit. Ever.
He's at least doing an American accent, right?
No, it's just him. He's just talking the way he does. Like, the best way I can describe it is, like, it's vaguely New England, but, like, it's still like, oh yeah, I buried him next to Alfred. Like, it's like, bro, I think he may be doing an accent. I'm just too used to seeing him as Jorah Mormont.
Right.
I think I may
fill in a little cognitive blanks there.
I might just be biased. But yeah, and then, like, he goes and kills the Joker, and then he just looks at Dick Grayson. He's like, I'm done being Batman. I'm just gonna go, like, fuck off. Have fun. You have Wayne Manor now. And then he's like, oh, Dick, did you want to come back and be Robin? Because Dick finds a bunch of, like, he finds a database of, like, replacement Robins, which is a nice, like, cameos for some characters that shows, like, Stephanie Brown and Carrie Kelly and, like, some of the other people that have been Robin. But he's like, what the hell? He's like, Jason said you're already looking for another fucking Robin? He's like, yeah, you hired Jason, like, 3 weeks after I left, but, like, what's going on? He's like, well, do you want to come back and be Robin? And that's the best line in the whole thing, because, like, Nightwing looks at him, because he's Nightwing by this point. He gets the Nightwing suit at, like, the end of season 2.
Okay.
And he just looks at him and he's like, no, I don't want to fucking be Robin. Like, he literally says it like that. And I was just like, that's the best part of the whole series. He just looks Bruce square in the eye and goes, no, I don't want to be fucking Robin again. Are you mental? So then he leaves him, like, the whole Batcave and everything. And then it's, like, slightly alluding to, like, Dick Grayson becoming Batman. And I was like, well, I mean, we already have Jason Todd as, like, he's already Red Hood at this point. They've introduced Tim Drake. So, like, we may as well just bring on Damian. Yeah, like, may as well bring in Damian Wayne and do, like, the whole thing where Dick was Batman and Damian's as Robin. It's just, it's dumb. It's dumb. There's just a lot of dumb shit. The main villain is Scarecrow, and it's one of the dudes from Mad Men. It's the dude who plays Pete in Mad Men. Or he was married to Allison Brie in Mad Men as, like, one of the dudes. It's just fucking ridiculous. The whole, like, I literally,
it does sound like a mess. I haven't watched it yet, but it sounds like a mess. I skipped from episode 3 to episode 14. I watched the recap for episode 13. I watched episode 14, and literally at the end of the episode, I went, I'm glad I didn't watch all those other episodes. Like, I just read a brief plot synopsis, and it's just like, it's just dumb. All terrible
it's dumb.
Filler.
The whole reason that, like, Jason Todd becomes Red Hood is because he gets this drug from Scarecrow that makes him, like, not afraid of anything instead of just, like, using Venom or some shit. It's basically, like, the opposite of fear gas. And then it's, like, it's just, there's so much that's dumb in that show. But, thankfully, we're getting good things from the DC universe. And that's what we were here to talk about.
Right.
So, what...
yeah. We still have the Aquaman. We gotta wait for this, didn't we?
Yeah, the Aquaman. Were we gonna watch the cartoon? Because they didn't have anything from the movie. They just had some stills.
Yeah, who cares about the movie, honestly?
I think it's just called Aquaman, King of Atlantis. They showed some stills. They were like, here's a still of Black Manta in a new suit. And I was like, yeah, because that's a villain I care about.
Right.
Black Manta. You're still not going to make that helmet not look fucking ridiculous in live action.
Oh, yeah, there's no way you can...
And, like,
make that look
they
good
stole
in
it
live action.
Fire Amber Heard. She's still Mara, even though everybody was like, Fire Amber Heard, me included. Part of the reason I'm not watching the movie, because I love me some Johnny Depp, and after all that came out that showed she was the abuser, boy howdy. But yeah, we're gonna watch we're gonna watch this, and we're gonna finish up just because we were gonna go do a thing here in the old spot, and we're gonna watch the Aquaman King of Atlantis. animated trilogy hitting play now. At first, I thought the animation was going to be. Somebody said it was Steven Universe style animation. It almost looks a little bit like Adventure Time, which I'm really into.
Ocean Master.
It's a little bit of both. Is that kind of that modern?
Hey, Ocean Master.
Is that like everything looks like nowadays?
I think he's gone.
So be it. Farewell, my brother.
Still got your trident.
Oh, that little. I hate this. We're supposed to be getting revenge on him, not saving him.
It's fine.
It's supposed to be one of those like crazy takes, like MODOK.
Yeah, or like what like the Harley Quinn show's been so far. Yeah. Which thankfully is getting another season. They did, because at first it was like touch and go, I guess, and they announced that DC Fandom is getting another season, so I'm very happy about that.
And I won't even get to. That's the worst part.
Where do you think they went?
I don't know. I have to ask for help from the only people who don't think I'm a total joke. People who are not people. People who...
Just say fish.
Fish.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those self-aware.
I'm talking to the fish. Yeah, I'm talking to the fish. Like this one, that one, her or him. Or maybe
Talking to a sunfish, which is one of the most useless fish in the ocean.
Oh, 100%.
I'll go ahead and say it. It's a brave take.
Ooh, damn. Yeah, I hope we don't get canceled by Sunfish, Sunfish Twitter, or Sunfish TikTok. Hashtag cancel Marvin's room. Brought to you by Sunfish RS.
That's a risk I'm willing to take. It's a hill I'll die on.
It's a hill you'll die on.
About that fisherman guy?
Fuck sunfish.
That's gonna be the title of the episode.
Here we go.
Maybe not fuck Sunfish, but just
Do you know anything about a fish?
canceled by Sunfish.
The guy, squid for a hat. I see.
This looks like I need to be on something to enjoy it fully.
Wow, that's crazy.
What's crazy?
I'm having trouble getting out of this conversation. Yeah, it's really lovely this time of year.
Ooh, what about this guy? Ask this guy.
That's a tuna. Basically asking me to talk to a cow.
Alright, that's funny.
Let's go talk to some grill.
This looks like it's gonna have a lot of good little quips and
You see the
one-liners.
fishermen around here? Uh-huh.
What are they saying?
They're saying you must flee from here, Your Royal Highness. There are terrible beasts around.
Wait, really?
Yes, krill are very intelligent and respect their king.
No, I mean, should we be worried about...
Oh god, he's caked up.
Krill are cowards.
Double caked up on a Thursday afternoon. Hella ass.
The expert.
Okay, so it definitely looks like it's gonna be one of those like kid shows, but like an older kid, like this, like Ren and Stimpy, Rocco, like maybe like a little bit more, what have you. You know what? Just to finish it off in the
Not
last,
quite Rick and Morty.
but... yeah, it seems like it's gonna be more like for kids. Let's watch and see what they have for this fucking train wreck, Aquaman 2.
For your weight? Oh my god.
This is gonna be called 2 Minutes of Suffering, starting now.
Because it's tackling a lot of issues. And
I love Jason Momoa. I really do.
big part in my boy James, you know?
I just don't care about Aquaman at all.
Nah, that's
I would
such
have
a
much-
tough character to make interesting.
I like him as Aquaman. I would have much rather seen him as like Lobo.
Yeah. Oh my god. He would have been like that would be
He
the
would have
perfect
been
casting
perfect
choice.
as Lobo.
It's colorful. The world is at stake.
As long as it's like more fun than the first one. Like the first one just wasn't very fun.
I love this character.
It was just like, okay, we're doing stuff.
I've never been a part of this, like,
I guess.
Portrait when Aquaman 2 comes out, they're gonna
When Aquaman 2 comes out, you're gonna care about Aquaman.
you got it? You put that in the movie?
To play around with this cast again is quite a trip. We're having a blast. This movie's a lot of fun.
Wait, they're bringing back Orm? I thought they killed him in the first
I'm
one.
very happy. So I think James is really excited to go all out.
this is an exciting scene we're about to get to a little bit
I hope so. Because the first one was like an hour and a half of just like, who cares?
It's just better.
we see that Black Manta is still
yeah, that
seeking his
helmet
He
looks
still just
so
looks like a
good.
Power Rangers villain, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way also that you can do like Black Manta
for the audience, something for them.
that like and make it like not ridiculous. You almost just gotta go with it.
About to,
I mean that's how it is with all the superhero movies, to be honest. You just gotta go with it. There can be ridiculous stuff wherever you look, but
Because it's so many different worlds.
good lord.
This isn't afraid to embrace its fantasy and go on this magical journey.
I just-
think it's
man.
gonna be really awesome.
Can we have a special cut that just like digitally replaces Amber Heard with like anyone else. Like I actually was in line with some people who they wanted Emilia Clarke to replace her, so we could have gotten the Khal Drogo and Khaleesi reunion.
Yeah.
All right, we're 40 minutes in.
Throw in Jorah Bruce and then have the whole squad back together.
There you go. As we already have, we have Jon Snow and Robb Stark and the Eternals, which is another one that I didn't care about, but I saw like a featurette that had like behind the scenes with like Kevin Feige. And after seeing that featurette, I'm like, you should have shown that like 3 months ago. Because the trailers they showed, I didn't care. But after seeing that and actually hearing them talk about it and their intentions with it and like what the director is doing, I'm just like, oh, cool. I'm on board now.
The second trailer that had me hooked.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're 40 minutes in. That's a good spot. Dustin, final thoughts?
It looks like there's a couple of exciting projects coming up from DC. Hands down, Batman is going to be my personal favorite.
Yeah, I don't think that's a
few that I have no opinion of whatsoever.
Yeah,
some that I just really don't care for.
Yeah, honestly, chiefly among them, Aquaman. I think we pretty much established Aquaman. Even that cartoon, I was like, it looks okay. I'm not going to watch it. You still have yet to get me on anything Aquaman. I'm not on board. I'm not on the Aquaman boat at this point. Batman looks good. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is probably going to be one of my games of the year for 2022.
Both that and Gotham Knights come out in 2022. Catwoman anime.
Catwoman movie.
Anything anime, you've sold me on already.
Flash, like I said, I wasn't really sure about Ezra Miller's Flash, but after that Flash trailer, I'm warming up. I'm warming up to him. Mostly just because, again, just Michael Keaton. I mean,
I'm going to pay the money to see Michael Keaton.
I'm going to be paying the money to see Michael Keaton. I wanted Michael Keaton to come back as Batman. My original idea was to bring him back as old Bruce Wayne in a Batman Beyond movie. That was always what I wanted.
God, that would be...
Get a good live-action Terry McGinnis. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a good couple years for DC. Are they gonna pass up Marvel?
Oh.
Of course not. But are they going to be able to take advantage of the fact that Marvel's in a bit of a slower reconstruction period right now? Absolutely. That being said, Marvel is only in its slower reconstruction period, I would say, right now with Eternals. Eternals is going to be probably the end of that reconstruction period, and then Spider-Man and Doctor Strange it's just going to be full steam ahead.
Yep.
I mean, we're getting Blade. They announced that we're getting another Captain America movie, so we're going to get more Sam Wilson as Captain America, which I loved with Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or I guess Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You can technically say Captain America and the Winter Soldier now. He's Captain America now. But yeah, I'm into it. We're 2023. We're going to have the Fantastic Four. So next time I have Dustin on, we're going to have the Marvel episode.
Yes.
That's what it sounds like. We're going to have to do a Marvel episode.
Hands down. And that one might be a two-parter.
Yeah. All right, Dustin, you got any last words for the folks at home?
I hope everybody, whatever time you're listening to this, have a great rest of your day. And we will talk next time.
Yeah, and next time we shall. I want to thank everybody for listening to Marvin's Room. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, if there is a room, I will be Marvin.